Is there a greater contrast than the very first Christian building being surrounded by the darkness that is actually here?
This is Christianity pre-Christianity, basically. A place where the foundation of Christianity was laid.
The archaeologist returns with their official documentation of what's hidden beneath 3 feet of sand.
So this is the mosaic dedicated to Jesus Christ. And in the middle you can see 2 fish and a few symbols around it.
The fish is a very important early Christian symbol. Yeah?
Of course. Before the cross became a symbol.
Stop there.
The fish was an early symbol for Jesus that still holds significance even today. We know early Christians used symbols to hide their beliefs or risk being killed. But why are there 2 fish? My theory is that one fish represents Jesus and the other could represent the story of Solomon's ring. Remember, Solomon found his ring in the belly of a fish.
Considering Solomon had a fortification there, and we have these fish here at the heart of Christianity,
Leads to the possibility that the ancient mosaic could be a coded symbol, that this group of early Christians may have had the ring. It only took 1 generation for Christians to go from
literally being fed to lions as local sects and cults, all the way through to becoming the most powerful religion in the known world.
How was that possible? Solomon's ring, a source of power, could be the answer.
A ring like that would certainly have helped that establishment of power.
Assuming the early Christians had the ring,
There's no way such an important relic's going to be left here in the sands of time to rot away. If that ring went anywhere, it's gone to the heart of the Christian power base.
the place where all holy Christian relics are eventually sent.
We need to go to Rome.
The clue we found in the prison in Megiddo was huge. That single image of the two fish in the ring has turned the key on our whole quest. We went from looking for Solomon and the ancient Israelites in Jerusalem to following the trail of early Christianity, from its beginnings in the Holy Land to the city that became its center, its new Jerusalem, Rome. And there's only one place in Rome the ring would have gone. The center of all Christianity, home to its most sacred relics, the Vatican. As we make our way there, it's hard not to be overwhelmed by the symbology etched into every surface of the city.
Your head must be exploding now. Symbols everywhere.
Just everywhere. Oh my goodness, Kinga.
What are you
Here it
looking
is.
at?
Two fish in a ring.
Look at the above the doorway, okay? Do you see the circle?
Yeah.
With the fish.
There's the symbol we saw in Tel Megiddo. It's evolved.
The word above the fish, ichthys. The fish, in Greek. The fish and ichthys are one and the same.
And that tells me everything. Just as our two fish in the ring symbol has evolved, that symbol has also evolved.
Let me show you this. Okay, so look. Start with this. Look at the word ichthys.
The same as over the door.
Yeah, but look beyond the word. Look at the shapes of the letters. Look what happens. The straight vertical, the cross, the circle, this Y shape, and an E shape. Overlaid, form that. The 8-pointed wheel. That there, and that symbol there, are one and the same.
I have a hunch this new symbol could be a key to confirming the ring may be in the Vatican.
Let's keep heading to the Vatican.
So I need to speak with my contact here, Richard Bowen. His long connection to the Vatican has given him extraordinary access to many of its secrets.
So, Richard, the artifact that we're tracking is the Ring of Solomon. We found a symbol which I believe unifies Christ and the Seal of Solomon. A ring with two fish in it. Would I be right in saying that if Solomon's ring did come to Rome, it would be here at the Vatican?
Well, it's difficult actually to say. on that matter there. But obviously, given the importance of the Vatican and the history that it's had here in Rome, there's always a possibility that there could be something tucked away at the Vatican.
Is there anywhere I can look here, looking specifically for that ring?
We've got a whole series of archives here, and we also have the so-called secret archives. A private collection, if you like, here, set aside. And the secret archives has as many as 52 miles of shelving. It's not open to the public to go in there and browse as they wish.
I'm not surprised by his answer. I didn't expect them to just let me into the Vatican secret archive. But I still believe I'm in the right place. I just need confirmation of my theory that the ring came to the Vatican. So I ask Richard if he thinks I'm right.
On that, I cannot say. But if you take a different perspective, move back perhaps from your original thinking, then maybe you might be able to come to the solution in another manner.
A different perspective?
Hey, Kinga!
Richard's given me an idea.
You need to get me a helicopter.
We've followed early Christianity to Rome, searching for Solomon's ring. We've learned that over time the fish symbol we were chasing has evolved into the symbol of the wagon wheel. We weren't able to get into the Vatican, so I'm hoping that a different approach can put us on top of the ring. Following Richard's advice, I'm hoping that looking at this from a different angle might help us get confirmation of my theory that the ring is there in the Vatican.
We're almost above the Vatican. Kinga, right there. Right in front of the Vatican. The wagon wheel, the 8-pointed wheel.
And there it is. The wagon wheel. The symbol that evolved from the blending of Solomon's ring and Jesus. Right on top of the Vatican.
That is just unbelievable.
Everything comes to one right here in the sense of the Christian world.
If I wasn't looking right down at St. Peter and seeing that wagon wheel, I wouldn't believe it.
And that's not the only connection to the Vatican.
You know, of course, the Pope, you have the fisherman's ring. Every Pope has that ring. That ring would be smaller than Solomon's ring.
The ring of the fisherman. The fish in a ring. It all goes back to Solomon.
Know that the ring is the power to control demons. What better a place for it to be than right there in the hands of the Pope in the Vatican, ready for the battle at the end of days. X really does mark the spot.
That layout of St. Peter's Square reveals more than the obvious. And it helps confirm my theory that Solomon's ring is in the Vatican.
The ring of the fisherman symbolizes possession of the ring of Solomon.
It's very possible that Solomon's ring made its way from Jerusalem to the site of Armageddon, and now to the Vatican,
Protected by the Pope himself.
ready to do battle with evil in the final days. 2,000 years ago, there existed a collection of magical treasures powerful enough to build an entire kingdom. They were called the 13 Treasures of Britain. Bringing them together, using them, and protecting them was the destiny of one man, and would help solidify his place in history as the greatest sorcerer of all time, Merlin.
The legend begins in the 6th century Celtic nation of Brittany, France, where Merlin was born, studied, and grew to become the greatest sorcerer in the land. There he met Vivian, the Lady of the Lake, who seduced him into teaching her the secrets to his magic. She also prophesied that Merlin was to collect 13 magical treasures and become destined to protect them forever. According to oral histories collected in ancient texts known as the Men of the North, Merlin headed north to England to begin gathering the treasures, which included a cloak that would render the wearer invisible and a chariot that moved at lightning speed. Once all the items were together, Merlin and a young King Arthur used them to build one of the most prosperous kingdoms in history. But after a big battle, Arthur is wounded and taken to an island to recover. To protect the treasures, Merlin fled with them into the woods, vowing to keep them safe until Arthur's return. But Vivian cast a spell on Merlin that put him eternally asleep, sealed in a glass coffin, entombed in a cave alongside the treasures, surrounded by water, with a great rectangular rock marking the site.
In order to find the 13 treasures of Britain, we have to locate Merlin's final resting place. Most legends surrounding the sorcerer's burial site place it in England, and a few others theorise it's in Wales or Ireland. However, I have a different theory that puts Merlin somewhere else entirely, my home country of Scotland.
People think of Camelot and think of England. But one theory I've been researching is that due to the border shifting over the centuries, at the time, Camelot may actually have existed at Arthur's seat in what is now southern Scotland.
Legends tell us that Merlin could actually be buried somewhere underneath Camelot. That gives us good reason for going to Arthur's seat to look for traces of Merlin and Merlin's treasures.
People reckon Arthur's seat could be the legendary Camelot. And looking at this hillside, you can imagine what Camelot may have looked like centuries ago. Now, if that is the case, Merlin could be entombed somewhere under this very hill. There's a lake here, and since Merlin is said to be entombed in a cave near water, we may be on the right trail. So we need to look for a cave nearby as well as a large stone, which legend says marks the entrance to Merlin's grave. Find the grave, find the treasure.
We start off right here, so let's move.
Our quest for Merlin's treasure has taken us to a ruin in Edinburgh, Scotland, believed to be King Arthur's castle. We're looking for the burial site of Merlin, which is also believed to contain his magical treasures.
We start off right here, so let's move. So what we're going to do is come up to the high points of the hill. We're going to look for fissures in the cliffs. We're going to look for any man-made marks on the natural landscape.
One of the reasons this is believed to be Camelot is that atop Arthur's seat is an ancient fort, said to belong to warriors who fought in a great battle. That is mentioned along with Arthur in a late 6th century poem.
Found anything, Kinga?
There's a bunch of old rubble and a lot of natural stone, but nothing specific. There's nothing tomb-like, cave-like, there's no water. I'll go around the backside.
Be really careful, it's wet, the rocks are slidey.
I'm on it.
So far, this place is just a blank slate. It's looking bad. And then, a cave.
Hey, Kinga! There's a crack in the face here.
Can you get in?
I'm gonna try and get in. Wow, look at this now. This is definitely a cave entrance, Kinga.
Does it go pretty far back?
Just sparking up, 1 second.
Do you see anything inside? Ashley, what's in there?
There's certainly a cave entrance goes back about 9 feet. No Merlin, no treasures. It's a dead end.
The Camelot connection seems to be leading nowhere. We need to focus more on Merlin and less on his connection to Arthur. King has arranged for me to meet historian Archie Young, who's been studying Merlin for more than 50 years. I'm hoping he can tell me more about Merlin's death.